Hello and a big welcome back to all my subscribers, and if you're not a subscriber, why not? Today I want to quickly talk about rote memorization and if it's any good for language learners, and at the end of the video I'll give you a lot of reasons why I think it is good for language learners, and in fact why it's actually essential for language learners to do rote memorization. Now, in the realm of education, there's an ongoing debate between memorization and understanding remains a central point of discussion. So traditionally, memorization, known as rote learning, has been considered a foundational method, particularly in early stages of cognitive development. Young children are often start by memorizing nursery lines and further things for cognitive growth, and this is seen as crucial for building a store of factual knowledge. But critics argue that over-memorization can lead to various pitfalls. Firstly, it can make learning process more time-consuming and more stressful, as the sheer volume of facts required for memorization, combined with the need for repetition, create a slower and more taxing learning experience. And additionally, over-memorization may result in superficial understanding of the material, where the learners can recall the facts but lack the deeper understanding of what's happening and the interrelationship between these facts. Moreover, over-memorization tends to focus solely on knowing, neglecting the equally important aspect of understanding. And this imbalance leads to further forgetting, as a reliance on working memory and the absence of linking the new information to previous knowledge makes it a challenge to retain the information. So, memorizing facts in isolation without connecting them to previous knowledge hinders your application of knowledge to real-world problems. So, to address these pitfalls, you can adopt an alternative technique to promote understanding, and this is linking new information to previous information, visualization as an aid to comprehension, and repeated use of self-testing or teaching to others to reinforce the materials and to enhance your memory. Now, in a comprehensive exploration of the benefits, a paper called Multifaceted Role of Memorization and Its Application in Learning delves into the various aspects of all this, and the paper emphasizes that rote memorization isn't fundamental, but overdoing it can have detrimental effects, and it advocates a balanced approach that incorporates meaningful learning techniques such as making connections to enhance the educational experience. So this paper was structured to cover the evolution of memorization practices from traditional memorization, which lacked any explanation or connection to previous information, to a more balanced approach, which includes context, strategies, and examples, and it highlights the benefits of rote memorization, ranging from building a knowledge framework to cognitive development and skill development. Now, let me just run you through some of the things of rote memorization. You get a knowledge framework. So rote memorization establishes a structured approach to organizing information. It aids in your understanding of your relationships between various concepts, and the cognitive structure supports advanced learning by contextualizing new information within existing knowledge. Now, knowledge framework is one of the things that a language learner really needs. It's the basis that you're going to use as a building block to do all this stuff. And if you're memorizing grammatical concepts, this is especially important. So these grammatical concepts help with this knowledge framework. An example of this might be French learners who learn verb conjugations for irregular verbs. They just memorize them because there really isn't any way to figure them out because they're irregular. So you just need to memorize them and remember them. So this is an example where rote memorization is absolutely essential if you're going to build up a knowledge of verb structures in French. So it starts building a knowledge framework. And then you get cognitive benefits from rote memorization. This paper goes on because engaging in rote memorization has a positive cognitive effects. It enhances your memory and it strengthens neural connections. It contributes to cognitive development, improves concentration, attention span, and mental ability. Again, all useful things for a language learner. And then speed and efficiency. The association between rote memorization and increased speed and efficiency is explored in this paper, and it's a definite yes, particularly in scenarios which require quick decision making or task execution. So coming up with a word quickly. And repetition enables the learner to perform these actions or recall extremely rapidly, which is what you need when you're learning a language. Now, there's also foundational understanding. So where you have subjects with a hierarchy of information, like mathematics or science, it's a lot easier to do rote memorization because you can establishes a foundation, and then your memorization builds on that structure. Now, if you can work out key principles and concepts that can provide you a groundwork for the language that you're learning, that will help you with your memorization and your memory for being able to memorize or remember and recall better when you're using the language. But one of the things rote memorization really excels at is pattern recognition, because it contributes to the development of your pattern recognition skills, and it lets you identify recurring themes or trends. And in a natural language, natural human language, there's lots of themes and trends. So this skill is invaluable when you're trying to learn a new language, because seeing that pattern, which matches another pattern, can let you conclude, okay, that's a verb, this is an adverb, etc., etc. It also contributes to your muscle memory in areas where physical skills are required. So, for example, the repetitive, constant repetition of words and phrases while shadowing or speaking, these create the muscle memory in your tongue and your lips and your jaw that allow you to speak the word and pronounce the words properly. So rote memorization along with active speaking will help you develop this skill and muscle memory. So it's very important that repetitive practice is included in your rote memorization. Now, rote memorization is very often associated with repetition, but this paper emphasized that its potential to enhance analytical thinking as well. I mean, the act of memorization involves breaking down information and fosters an analytical approach to understanding the material. It facilitates conceptual learning. So contrary to misconceptions normally held, rote memorization has been shown to facilitate in conceptual learning, because once the foundational information is memorized, individuals are better equipped to explore and understand the concepts related to the knowledge base that they have gained. Now, there's been an evolution of memorization practices in the last 50 or 60 years, and there's a discussion of a shift from traditional rote memorization techniques, which didn't have any explanation or connections between the information you were getting, just a list, to nowadays to having a more balanced approach. So you incorporate the context, so you don't just remember words, you try and remember sentences so that you get context, you get strategies, you get more examples, and you try and link words together. So thematically, you try and memorize fruits as opposed to individual words. So you try and memorize them as a group in order to make connections, because making connections is the key to meaningful memorization. So drawing parallels with the game show Jeopardy, the paper stresses the importance of making these sort of connections. and enhancing the meaningfulness and the success of memorization. So there are many examples of strategies which can be used to illustrate where the connections can be made, in a sort of creative way. Now, in conclusion, the importance of a balanced approach to rote memorization is important, and you need to incorporate explanation, context, creativity, and then memorization becomes a really valuable tool for your language learning and your cognitive development, and it gives you a deeper and more comprehensive understanding of the material. So I think memorization is not just useful, it's actually essential if you're going to learn a language. You're going to have to remember lots of stuff, and you're going to have to practice repeating it and recalling it, and it has to be instantaneous. People aren't going to wait for you to go look up the 15 different words in a dictionary. You need to be able to say it, recall it, and instantaneously respond to queries and questions and conversation prompts that you're going to get from a native speaker. So I think you just need to sit down, buckle in, and start to memorize vocabulary, grammar, and just work your way through it. Memorization is not something that you can do away with. It's an essential part of your language learning. You're going to have to remember this stuff, and you're going to have to remember it instantaneously. It's going to have to come back immediately. So if you're memorizing things and you can't recall it within 2 or 3 seconds, then you don't really know it. And so you need to focus on it and memorize it. And that is the way that you will gain proficiency and additional vocabulary and, pronunciation skills and muscle memory for how to speak and things. So it's repetition and rote memorization. Although these have bad connotations, it's not the fun aspects of learning. It is something you're going to have to do if you want to become proficient in another language. Okay, now that's it. But if you have a different opinion or you don't agree with me, please let me know in the comments, because I'm always happy to hear other people's opinions. And if you like this sort of thing, please like and subscribe and all that good stuff. And I'll see you later. Bye.